Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today we got a special guest on the show. He's a self-made entrepreneur. He's also an author of the new book On a Positive Note, 10 Days to Positivity, and we're going to break this down a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Pelle.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing great, my brother. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
I was saying, have me waiting long enough. But
my fault, man. Got stuck out there. Yo, honestly, I was just running behind time. That's it, man.
It'd be like that sometimes, although we live in the same building. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to know your story, man. You know, ever since I met you, it seems like you got a clear head on your shoulder, that you're very driven, very directed in where you wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? And since I've seen you, you know, you've been making a lot of moves, you know what I'm saying? As far as leading into your entrepreneurship as well with this book. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? I got my official signed copy. I'll zoom in on that later. But, yeah, man, I just want people to know your story, man. So starting off, like, where you from?
I'm from New York City. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I grew up in the Bronx. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, grew up in the Bronx. I always wanted to get out of the Bronx. Mm-hmm. But now I want to get back in the Bronx.
What? Okay. Different reason.
Different reasons. Really good reasons, though. Mm-hmm. And I've always been what people call a hustler by heart, by nature. Always knew how to sell things. I always knew how to buy things. I always knew how to flip things, and I always had my ear to the streets to see what was next.
Right.
You know, which was a jewel. You know, growing up in those type of environments, you kind of keep your ear to the streets because you know what people want, right?
Right.
Like most people and most consumers are to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about streets like street. I'm talking about street far as like what people are buying.
Right. The market.
The market. Mm-hmm. So I always knew. My ears was clearly to the street, and I always knew what people wanted and what they wanted to buy. So whatever they wanted to buy, I always try to find out what they want to buy, and I'll sell it to them at with a margin, you know, to make sure I can make some money off of it. So it started like that. I started around 15, 16 years old.
What was the first thing you sold?
Timbs and Air Force Ones. Iceberg was popping back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we was moving that all through the Bronx like crazy. We used to go all the way downtown, buy it downtown for dirt cheap, and then we used to flip it. And that's how we kept money in our pocket. So you could imagine we showing up to school with all type of things, and then the internet came about. The internet was always around, but ringtones was like our first big thing, right? So selling ringtones to people, right? So we created a website, got ringtone popping, and we made so much money selling ringtones at that age, and we was like 18, 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how it really started. So that's when I started to get really interested in entrepreneurship. I was like, yo, we did this by ourselves. And this is at a time when I could tell you all the places that didn't want to hire me when I was 17 years old. Right. Marshalls didn't want to hire me at one point, right? I couldn't get hired by Marshall for nothing, right? Barnes and Nobles didn't want to hire me at that point. So it was very tough for me to make money. So it was like the options that I had was either option A and option B, right? So I took advantage of option A and option B, which was do my own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that's how things got started for me at that age.
That's great, man. Not too many people think like that at that age. You know, they're just going to school, still playing sports, you know, living with mom and dad, so they don't have no worries. But it seems like you took that initiative to move forward early, which is obviously working out for you. So that's good, man.
Hell yeah. Had to, man. It was like, you know, it was fight or flight. So it's like, and especially like when you have nothing to lose at that point, or well, I thought I had nothing to lose because everybody has something to lose. You know what I'm saying? Right. But in my mind, my mindset was that I have nothing to lose, so everything had to be a gain for me. Everything had to be a win for me. So during that time, I just kept on going, and then one thing led to another, one thing led to another, one thing led to another. You know, I tried everything, and don't get me wrong too. Like, you know, I messed up a whole bunch of times, and I think that's why I'm so confident to go into any endeavor with a clear vision, because I messed up a bunch of times, so I'm not scared to take that next risk. You know what I'm saying? Or take that next chance on something. Right. I mean, I've lost a lot, but it's fun losing, because once you know how to lose, then you start to learn how to win.
Stop right there. Now, I want you to express in detail the fun behind losing, because it seems like when you have a certain mindset in entrepreneurship, you know, overcoming obstacles you understand that it's part of it, but you don't let it discourage you from moving forward. So explain to me, you know, what type of fun you found in losing.
You learn, right? Say for example, I'm gonna give you a clear example, right? Like if you get into a car accident, right?
Right.
If the first time you get in a car accident, it's a brand new car, and you wreck your car somehow, or a little fender bender, right?
Right.
You're gonna be in complete panic. You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Oh my god, I don't know what to do.
My dad's gonna kill me.
Exactly. That's what's gonna happen, right? But if you did that like 3 or 4 times, you're gonna be like, all right, cool. Just listen. There's no reason for us to be yelling at each other. That's not gonna do any just. Right. Let's just exchange information, and then let's let the insurance handle it, right? That's what losing does. But at the same time, you win because you save yourself a bunch of time. You save yourself getting in a conflict with that other person because, two people that don't know themselves arguing with each other, anything could spiral out of that, right? So when you lose, you actually gain a lot because you know how to handle that situation. So those situations are going to arise multiple times. So that's why I get nervous when I see people who never lost because I was like, oh, okay, this could be a red flag because this person never lost. Because if something happens, say for example, if I give you a whole bunch of money, if I give you a couple of dollars to do something with it, and then you lose it, you're gonna panic,
right?
Or anything can happen. You're gonna
give up, and then
you're gonna panic. Whatever it is, you're gonna panic. And most people panic. People don't notice it. They're so quick to panic. People never think things through. So that's why I find the fun in losing and making mistakes because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? And then you learn how to get around those mess ups to the point that you know how to pick and choose your peoples that you need around you to make those a successful move.
Right. No, that's good, man. It sounds like you just created an idea for your next book.
I know. I was pondering that. I was pondering that in my head too. I was like, oh, okay, this might
be fun losing.
All right.
Hey, I got one. It definitely sounds like a great idea. You should put more thought into it.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. I was just telling somebody this the other day. Like, I started so many companies and bust a whole bunch of companies. But then, the 1 or 2 that did well, those are what people see, you know what I'm saying? And that's what allows me to live a certain way right now, right? But people don't know, it's like, I had like 15 companies before that bust up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Me going in and fire just mean being an aggressive person that I am, thinking I can do it, like, Yeah. And then, this whole thing go up in flames, you know what I'm saying? $2 million gone. Wow. $1 million gone, you know what I'm saying? Like, quick. So it's like, sheesh. You learn from those things, right? And then when you speaking to people as far as like you could be an investor, you know what I mean? It could be somebody else you're trying to partner with. That adds value to it in a sense because I know what to do in those situations. Even when I talk to other entrepreneurs, I'm like, oh, okay, I know where you at right now. Here's some advice and this is where I went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and also it goes back to being positive too at the same time, right? You're gonna mess up. But then you have to have a positive outlook on things, you know what I mean? Because everything happens for a reason. That's my philosophy. Right. Everything happens for a reason. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, that's basically what it is. Yeah, that's my philosophy on it.
No, that's great. That's great, bro. So, was this? Did you have any other dream prior to wanting to be an entrepreneur?
I had many dreams. And then I started to realize what dreams mean to me. Okay. Right. I realized that I don't dream anymore. I plan, right? So I had dreams in the past. I hit those dreams.
Like what?
Like, say for example, I played in the entertainment business before, and that was cool. Acting, yeah. Okay. I did it before, which was cool. It was good. I loved it. It was great. But then I realized I started to discover my purpose in life, right? And everybody has their purpose.
What do you think yours is?
My purpose is to help other people achieve big goals. You know what I mean? I'm a big driven person, so if I could be that person that someone looks at and be like, yo, you know what, he did it. He hit a B. Right. He hit $1 billion first. He hit $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of these dudes that's like completely opposite of me, right? Right. So that's my purpose, is to motivate somebody else to do something big, audacious, and courageous. You know what I mean? With confidence, and let me be the poster child for that. Right. So that's my plan and that's my purpose. So back to the dreams part, I don't dream anymore. I just plan. And that's that. Because dreams is when you're sleeping, and I don't really sleep like that.
Yeah, sleep is for billionaires, brother. Hey, I heard that. Bars.
TM.
Exactly. But no, that's what's up, man. So what motivated you to write this book right here? You know what I'm saying? It seems like you were in a place in your life where you felt like, your story and everything you've been through thus far can help someone.
Facts. So that's a really good question. So what motivated me to write the book? All right, so last year I was sitting down and I was like, all right, I want to write a book. Okay. That's where it started. I was like, I need a book. Right. And then I know that when I'm around my peers, if you know me, you know, I always have a positive outlook on things, right? So you could tell me something just happened, and I'll be like, well, look at it like this. Exactly. This could have happened, that could have happened, or you could have lost your leg.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
People don't understand. They could have easily been a lamp.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been a lamp right there. That's what you could have been. That would have been your whole entire life. You'd be standing there, and just sometimes people turn you on and turn you off.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So people need to understand that. So what motivated me to write the book is that I want to help people get past whatever they're getting through. You know what I mean? I came from a negative environment, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A very negative environment. And in order for me to get out of that negative environment, I had to be positive. I had to look at things from a positive outlook.
I had to rise above.
Exactly. And even with this picture on my book, this picture means a lot to me because I know where I came from, you know? Exactly. I came from a bottom, and I'm in the top of the building right now. I'm in the top. I'm in the best. I'm in the best penthouse in that building.
Right.
And that says a lot for me because I know how hard it took for me to get there, and I know what positive outlooks I had to have, and that's why you see clear windows all around because you have to look at things from a higher point of view. You can't look at it from the way you're sitting down looking at it right now. You can't see it face to face. Sometimes you got to look at things from a higher point of view and understand that things could be a lot worse or it could be a lot better.
Right.
So that's what motivated me to write the book.
No, that's great, bro. I mean, you definitely gotta have that third eye open at all times. That's my philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Take all outlets of any situation that can happen. You want to consider. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just looking at it head on, because then you just focus on one outcome of whatever may happen.
That's true. And then another thing too, the world needs it, man. You look around, man. It's just nothing but negative conversations, man. It's either this girl talking about that girl, this guy talking about that guy, this guy don't like that, or he don't like this, or the news is just pumping negativity, everybody running around scared, and it's like, yo, listen, the world doesn't have to be like that for you.
Right.
And I understand, they're altering your perspective. You know what I'm saying? The world, you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, if you have control of your perspective, you have control of you. But if you have negative things happening around you, you're going to live purely in that. Right. So I wrote this book for people who want to see from a positive perspective with all the fat and clutter that's all around us. That's like, this, that, and third. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're ugly. You're pretty. Oh, your teeth is yellow. Are you depressed? It's like, come on.
Are you depressed? I see those commercials at least like 3 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, and they're just pumping you with that information. They don't understand how strong this vessel is. Your body, your mind. This is the most important thing on your body right now. Exactly. You get where I'm coming from? And if they get control of that, or whoever gets control of that, any negative energy get control of that, then you're gone for good.
They have the power.
Exactly. And I remember, listen, I went through a dark phase in my life. At one point, listen, I was super depressed. And this goes back to why I wrote the book. Super depressed to the point that I wanted to take my own life.
Why were you depressed?
Loneliness. Fighting my own thoughts in my head. A whole bunch of different problems, man. It was a conglomerate of problems. You know what I'm saying? That I was fighting in my head, though. It was all in my head. It wasn't actually happening. It was in my head. And I realized, listen, this happened right in North Hollywood in the Valley. I was going to jump off this little bridge right there, like little sewer, little area and everything like that. And I sat there and I had to think about every single thing that I had that was good and every single thing that I had that was bad. And I came to the conclusion that the worst thing that can happen right now is me jumping off this friggin' bridge. Exactly. That's the biggest loss you can ever do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I decided not to do that. And then 3-4 years later, I wrote this book. And that's all the fuel. It's all experiences. Exactly. It's all experiences. So I came up with that book. I was like, hey, you know what? Everything's on a positive note, man. No matter what you're going through, well, on a positive note, you could do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or this could be that.
And it can always be worse.
It can always be worse, whatever that is. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just an obstacle. Exactly. There's no such thing called bad. It's just an obstacle. You know what I'm saying? You know, someone said one time, develop more skills. If you have problems, develop more skills. And that's why I'm a firm advocate of books. That's why I said books changed my life. Listen, I'm up to like 600 books I've read so far, man. 600 and something books now. Books changed my life, and I know that how powerful these things are. So I was like, I'm going to write this book with showing my experience in it and why I think positivity is the best way to look at things. Right. So.
No, good job, man. Definitely, man. I definitely want to go into some of the chapters now. Because I know you don't want to give out too much detail because you got to buy the book.
You got to buy the book.
So I want you to tell me, out of all these 10 chapters, which one do you? Well, I know you identify with all of them, but which one means the most to you and why?
Well, all of them do, right? All of them is a team. They all work together. But the two that I started with day 1 and day 2, so chapter 1, chapter 2. So I broke it down into days, so you can have so you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself to get through the book. I want you to soak it up. Day 1, getting rid of negative thoughts.
Okay.
So people don't understand that it takes a lot to get rid of negative thoughts and identifying negative thoughts, right? You have to know what negative thoughts are. So I explained that in chapter 1. Like, okay, what are negative thoughts, right? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And you sit with yourself and figure out which thoughts are the ones that's not adding value to your life and get rid of them, right? Focus on the positive thoughts, get rid of negative thoughts. And then day 2 is getting rid of negative people around you. A lot of people don't understand that we're all connected as one, right? So negative is going to attract negative.
Right.
Positive is going to attract positive. If you're feeling some type of way, 9 out of 10 chances it's your circle. You know what I mean? Birds of a feather flock together. And if you want to start living a positive life, if you want to start changing your life, or you want something to change, look at your peers. Look around. If you feel some type of way about something, 9 out of 10 chances it's coming from over there, and that's your people. So getting rid of negative thoughts and getting rid of negative people in your life is very important. So that's why I start with those 2 chapters right there. And I think those are very important because love is something, right? You love your friends, right? But if your friends is one bad apple can make the whole tree go bad.
Right.
And the reason why I say love, a lot of people don't break away from situations because of love, right? And love is this chemical that's spilling off in your brain. So people don't break away from that situation because of love. Or whatever love is. It could be a love for your friendship, your mom, your parents. It can be anything. But if it's negative, you gotta be aware of it, and you gotta see it, and then you gotta be like, all right, this is not healthy for me. You could love somebody from a distance. You could be friends with people that I have a lot of friends.
Same.
But there's a lot of friends I don't talk to anymore because of the way they move.
Right.
The way they operate. It doesn't work for my thing I got going on.
Yeah,
my plan. It doesn't align. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just that it doesn't click.
Right.
There's 7
It's just business.
Exactly. There's 7-point-something billion people out here in this world. That means 7-point-something billion perspectives. 7-point-something billion point of views.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to click, and if it doesn't work for you, it's not bad to say, hey, this is not going to work out for us. Let's do something else different. You know, we could like each other from afar, but what I got going on, I got to get rid of that. Right. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live this way.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong, because negative people stick with negative people. They sit there and talk about people all day. Oh, yeah, that's my man. He's not, or whatever it is. It doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? That's their world.
Right.
So choose your people. Choose your worlds wisely.
Right.
That's my thing. Choose your worlds wisely. I like that.
Yeah, I like that one. That's book number 3 coming out soon.
That's book number 3.
Yeah. No, it's cool that you mentioned those 2. For me, actually, day 8 was the one that helped me the most, because practicing positive thinking every day, that's something that I was struggling with. You know, obviously, step 1 would be getting rid of negative thoughts, but then practicing positive thinking, like having a different outlook on any situation and using a positive outlook to, you know, overcome it and weed out the negative outcomes that may arouse because of that situation. You know, I had trouble struggling with that. So when I read the book, it gave me a refresher to keep that mindset that I currently have going, because, you know, it could easily go left, you know what I'm saying, any given moment. So, you know what I'm saying, I appreciated day 8 the most, you know what I'm saying.
You know what, that's a very good one too as well. Very good. You know why? Because everything goes back to repetition, right? So, like, you do things over and over and over, then you become that, and you become good at that, right? I think the reason why I'm so positive is because I practice positivity every single day. I wake up in the morning, I'm thankful. I'm like, yo, I woke up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good, right? As soon as I wake up, I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm alive.
Right.
Let me start my day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's very important. So it's like, I'm very thankful for that. And it's like, it goes back to repetition. You know what I mean? You do it. It's like playing basketball. You can't play it sometime if you want to be great.
Right.
You got to play it every single day.
Right.
And that's with anything.
So 10,000 hours.
10,000, man. Maybe that joint 100 hours, 100,000 hours, man. Let's even get nastier with it. Let's get more obsessed with that. You know what I'm saying? 10,000 hours not enough. Let's go ahead. Let's be the best.
Scratching the surface.
That's just scratching the surface. And then it's like, you know, you want to make sure you sharp. You know, you sharp, and then people, you know, one thing too, when you're positive, dude, people feel that.
Right.
You walk in the room, I mean, you attract everything. People come up to you, you don't even have to touch nothing.
Right.
Because you in a whole different space. You handle things so different. Like everything, it's like a magnet. You can pull anything you want. And then, look, I'm a firm believer of the universe, right?
Right.
And then the universe is going to give you this. It's going to give you negative, and it's going to give you positive. And this is important to know how the universe works, okay? Because if you're living in the positive spirit, you can ask the universe for anything, and it'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You walk in a room right now, you will light up like a light box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got nothing but positive energy. You touch somebody, their whole world faint. Their whole world light up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They walk away from that feeling good, like, all right, cool. How they get it? Because let's put it like this. I was in an Uber the other day, right?
Okay.
And the Uber was like, I was just telling him like, yo, life is great, da 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 da. And he was like, yo, that really feels good to hear that, man. And when you see that, when you see somebody else say that, stop for a second, was like, yo, I really like that, man. Because all people do is complain.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about? There's nothing to complain about if you're alive. This is our first time on this earth. Everybody's first time. If you're alive right now, this is your first time. So we're going to fail a whole bunch of times. We're going to make mistakes. Things is going to go up. Things is going to go down. What I could say is just enjoy the roller coaster, man. That's a roller coaster ride. We paid for it. We alive, right? If you didn't want to deal with it, then don't deal with it.
And everybody's gonna leave at one point.
And that's the end goal at the end of the day, right? So you just gotta enjoy it. There's no instructions to this life we live in right now, man. Enjoy it.
Right. No, I totally agree, man. I tell my girl that all the time because she's a complainer as well sometimes. You know, she stresses about little things, but I try to throw that positive vibe into her so she can have a different outlook on the situation, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how girls are, you know, they tend to stress over little things.
I know.
Yeah, man, you know, I think they definitely need to read this book more than males. But both.
I think both.
Yeah.
The guy, you know, it depends on the person.
Right.
But I would say both. Guys and girls need to read the book. Kids need to read the book. Everybody needs to read the book because it gives you perspective. And like, listen, I don't even like doing business with people who haven't read the book yet. Now my new thing now is like, if you want to do business with me, you got to read that book first because I got to make sure you're coming at me correctly.
Exactly.
You can't come with me with all your thing going on.
Yeah,
with
your problems.
With your problem. Don't come with that problem. Because I got my own problems. I don't have any problems. I'm good.
My man.
I'm alive. I just
That was a test. That was a test.
I'm alive. So that's what that is, man, you know? So it's all about the POV, man. And POV, man. And like I said, man, to all the entrepreneurs out there, you need that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. I know what type of work it is to be an entrepreneur. And then even when you do start making a lot of money, when you start making millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get over other things. You have to get over comfort.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Comfort is comfort is, you think not having money is a problem? Get comfortable. That's a problem.
Did you explain when you felt that way?
I felt like that. All right, so I had this one company. It was a tech company, and we sold the company. It was called Dango. We sold the company, and you know, I got this check.
Yeah.
And then, you know, after a while, you start getting what you want, right? You get what you want. You start buying this, you start buying that, all right? You realize, all right, cool, I can pay for everybody's thing. All right, cool. All right, I don't really have to pay. Okay, if I don't make any money, I'm good for the next 10 years without making any money. You know what I'm saying? And then that mindset right there, after like year 1 or 2, you realize, what am I doing with my life? You know what I'm saying? And I'm a high-driven person. I'm high frequency, high-driven, high energy. But then I was dumbing myself down for comfort, the idea of comfort. Like, what? I don't want to be comfortable, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be comfortable. If I'm comfortable, I got to get uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I have to get in a situation where I'm uncomfortable. I will give everything away just to not be comfortable.
So how did you get uncomfortable after feeling comfortable?
I started challenging myself. I started doing other things, started looking for other endeavors. I started rethinking what I want to do now. Again, like, all right, what I want to do? All right, do I want to do this? And I started making big challenges. I started making big goals. Because I could make a little goal, and I would hit that goal, and I'd be like, all right, I'm bored. All right, I'll make another goal, hit that goal, all right, I'm bored. Hit another goal, all right, hit that goal, I'm bored. Now I need big goals. You know what I'm saying? Now I make big goals. All right, what team I want to own? How am I going to get this team? All right, cool. What company I want to buy? There's a whole bunch of things that goes on in my head that's like, what's going on? What's big? How can I put the team together? And I want it to be challenging so that when it will take me 2-3 years to get that goal, and then when I do hit that goal, I still gotta run that goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just big challenge. That's what keeps me uncomfortable. Big challenges, big goal, high frequency, being audacious, being relentless. That's what keeps me uncomfortable. And I like being uncomfortable. Because when you get comfortable, it gets boring. Everything gets boring and uncomfortable. You know, even when you meet a girl, you want to make sure she keeps you comfortable, uncomfortable at the same time. Like, man, you know what? I have to stay on my P's and Q's with this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I treat everything like that. You know? Treat everything like that. So that's what did it for me.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Sounds like book number 4. Uncomfortable.
I'm gonna look back at this and be like, I'm gonna start writing everything down like this. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna put this down. Book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4.
I'll tell you, yeah, you're dropping some jewels, man. So now I want to talk about the marketing of the book. You know, as an entrepreneur, after you created this product, what was your plan to sell it? Because, you know, I've been seeing you hustling your book out here, and you've had some success. So, you know, what marketing strategies are you implying to actually move this book and make it a top seller?
That's a good question. Hustle. So I don't have no team around me pushing the books yet. I don't have a PR company pushing the books yet. I didn't do none of that stuff. You know what I did? I started hustling it myself. I went back to basics with me. Basics, talking to people. Hey, did you get my book? Did you know I read a book? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I started working on my social media, building up my social media brand, building it up, and then posting it on social media, moving the books through that, right? Moving through that platform. I ain't do nothing yet, because when I come, I want them to be like, all right, cool. I'll be like, listen, I sold 500,000 books by myself, all by myself, off my social media, and off of talking to people. You know how many people I talk to a day? Every person I talk to, I sell them a book. Do you know that? Every single person. I don't care if I don't know. If I just met you, if I say, hey, what's up? How you doing, Nathan? How you doing? You know I wrote a book, right?
Right.
You want to check it out? I put that book right in your hand. And then it's about positivity. And if you need it, you're going to get it.
Right.
So that's how I've been marketing right now, man. I bring it back to people to people.
Yeah.
That's it, man. P to P. That's it. P to P.
P2P. No, I agree. That's
peer to peer.
I think that's the most effective advertisement, word of mouth advertisement, you know, and then people skills having that using that skill, you know, to basically sell this book, you know, and then once it starts spreading like wildfire, then, you know, because the reason why I was more interested in the book, because we were chilling talking on one day, and this woman had passed us by that I guess you sold her a book, and she was like, yo, I really loved your book. But I knew you were selling it before through your social media, but when she said it, I was like, okay, now it made me more of a believer for some reason. When somebody else said, because you could tell me about your book all day, but if somebody else tell me, I'd be like, okay, because you obviously going to feel that your book is the greatest, you know what I'm saying, how it could help me. But if it actually helps somebody else, now I'm like, damn, maybe he's on to something.
And you know what, yo? You know what, man? It's crazy because I don't think my book is the greatest, right? But I know it helps. I know it's going to help thousands, millions of people, and I think that's what's really needed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and especially from my point of view. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in it. This ain't no cliche 1, 2, 3. I had to learn how to meditate. I had to learn how to keep my mind clear. I had to learn how to float above water. I had to learn all those skills, like to be clear minded on everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it could have easily went left field. It could have easily been negativity. It could have easily been getting in trouble all the time. It could have easily been that. But now I don't even see that stuff. I don't bring that energy in my life. I keep that energy far, man. If somebody come around me with that sideways, I'm like, and it keeps you calm. I'm not confrontational. I don't feel like to fight. I don't do none of that crazy stuff. That's not my MO. Right? So it's funny how when you're the calmest person, I learned how to stay calm in every situation. When you're calm, nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? When it's two people bickering, then that's when someone gets in trouble. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody get locked up. Somebody lost their job. Somebody lost their girl. Somebody girls with that other guy that they was fighting. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that's going on.
Right.
But if you call me, you just listen to the person, you're like, all right, cool. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Right? All right. Is there anything else I can do to make it better? That's all positive.
Right.
That's just from sitting back and being level-headed. Because it's not only about being positive, it's being level-headed at the same time too, man. You know, people need to be level-headed. You look at people are driving around and somebody cuts them off. That person is angry. And they living in a negative space. Cut me off. I don't care.
Right.
Well, go ahead. You got somewhere to go.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I don't care. It's fine. You want to look at me? Cool, man. You're good? Confuse them. Like, oh, what the hell just happened? This is what I think he's like, you at me. Nah.
Nah,
I got time for that.
I totally agree about that, man. I'm the same way, man. I believe in being in control of externally and internally. You know what I'm saying? Because when your emotions control your thoughts and your actions, then you're no longer in control. You know what I'm saying? So being level-headed is definitely beneficial to anything you're trying to do in life, you know, because you're always in control, right? You know, like you said, when you're in a level-headed state of mind, nothing happens. Well, things happen, but you're aware and you're conscious of how to move through it so it won't affect you negatively. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you on that. Tell me, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself being extremely where I'm at now, but 10 times that, right? So I see myself helping a lot of people, number one. And, you know, my main thing on this earth right now is just to help people, you know. I see myself having a huge charity, huge, being immersed in the philanthropic world. I see myself having big Fortune 500 companies, owning a whole bunch of them, right? So it's I see in about 5 years. You know, it's funny you bring that up because I just did a 5-year plan over again.
Good job.
Yeah, because the 5-year mark just hit up on this one. You know, we're going into 2019, so I just redid that. So that's what I see for right now. I see myself being like, you know, like I said, the staple, the poster child. I want to be known as the world's best and the world's greatest investor. So I'm working hard towards that. So you'll see a piece of that, at least. You know what I'm saying? At least a piece of that.
So what other business endeavors do you have moving forward? I mean, that you have in the works now? You know
well, right now I'm just focusing on my investment vehicle right now called Unlimited Minds.
Okay.
Unlimited Minds is a private equity investment firm that focuses on businesses, real estate, media, tech. So I'm just focusing on that and growing that to the next level, and let people know that, you know, we're here to play for the big boys, play for the long haul. So that's the main focus. That's it.
So explain a little bit of how I work and the success you had with Unlimited Minds.
Well, what you say again?
I say explain to me a little bit on how Unlimited Minds work, like the mission statement and the success you had with it.
So Unlimited Minds, basically we invest in real estate. We buy out different real estate properties, and we sell it for more once we acquire it, right? So that's how it works right now. That's what this version of Unlimited Minds is right now. Before we invested in media, and now we're moving on to this vehicle, real estate. Okay. So that's how it's working right now.
Oh, okay. So the most success is coming from real estate and Unlimited Minds.
Right.
Okay, good deal. So where do you see that growing to? You know, just media and real estate?
I see it growing to. You ever heard of a company called Blackstone?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's a big private equity company. I see Unlimited Minds being that or even better than that. Oh, no, matter of fact, it will be better than that.
There you go.
Okay, so that's why I see Unlimited Minds being right now. So right now we at the beginning stages. It's only year 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not it's not a long time. It's year 2. We're doing good, but I see it growing to the biggest and the best, the wildest and the best. Which, matter of fact, it will be in a couple of years. The biggest and the best.
No, that's great, man. I mean, I definitely would like to be a part of that, but we'll talk more later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But that's awesome, man.
And that's Unlimited Minds with a Z.
Yeah. Do you have a website for it you want to give out?
No, I don't.
No?
No, it's just Unlimited Minds with a Z.
So how does one inquire about being a part of Unlimited Minds? With, you know, because obviously not everybody could, you know, just talk to you like I can right here and there. You know, there might be people in China that might be interested. So how would they inquire?
Well, there really is any process in inquiring, you know what I mean? So the way we do it is so structured, in a sense. You know, we have our investors that we deal with. So we have our investor relationship team that deals with the investors that we're dealing with right now. So, you know, if somebody wanted to get involved, you know
investment-wise.
Yeah, you know where to find us. I mean, Instagram, all that crazy stuff is there, you know, relationships, you know, we'll run into you. We'll see you. If you want to get involved, we'll find you. Things attract, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really like how can I say it? It's not like it's not like, you know, like music or anything like that. It's just like, you know, we're making big moves right now. And that's what the focus is. Audacious big moves. Yeah. We playing for keeps. So that's it.
No, that's great, bro. That's great, bro. Like I said, I'm very proud of you, brother, because, you know, it sounds like you came from the bottom and you're working your way up and you self-made. And that's great because that's the things I'm doing and inspired to be greater. You know what I'm saying? But there's other people out there that have that fear of taking that leap of faith. You know, they want to be secure with school and getting a job for their degree and then, you know, kind of living that American trend. I don't want to say American dream, American trend that was designed for Americans. You know what I'm saying? So explain to me, what made you jump outside of that trend and kind of take this leap of faith? Because that takes a lot of courage. You know what I'm saying? You have to overcome the three main obstacles, which is time, money, and fear that people always use as an excuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what made you look past that and say, fuck it?
Having nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Having nothing to lose. I did the school stuff. I did all that crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm constantly, I'm a very outgoing person.
Mm-hmm.
But when you realize that you have nothing to lose and you want the best,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and those are the questions you have to ask yourself if you want to be in the world, in that space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you have nothing to lose and you want the best, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I said to somebody the other day, I have everything to lose to care. Wait, I have everything to lose to care and nothing to lose to fear.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm coming from? So,
Yeah.
meaning that I always think I have nothing to lose. So when I make a move,
Mm-hmm.
it's on a nothing to lose basis.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, you're all in.
I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going full throttle. I mean, that's with relationships. That's with business deals.
Mm-hmm.
That's with friendships.
Mm-hmm.
That's with anything. Anybody that's my friend, they'll tell you, like, super nice guy. Like, I buy artwork for people. I do a whole bunch of nice things for people. I'm all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I say you my friend, you my friend.
Mm-hmm.
There's not no,
Gray
if
area.
you my girl, you my girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm doing business with you, we're doing business. We don't need no contracts. We don't need none of that stuff. Because that's the type of person I am.
Mm-hmm.
So what made me do this, like having nothing to lose, I'm fearless.
Mm-hmm.
I have no fear in the world. I don't care. Nothing scares me. Heights doesn't scare me. Bad credit doesn't scare me. Good credit doesn't scare me. Pretty people doesn't scare me. Ugly people don't scare me. Monsters doesn't scare me. Nothing scares me. I'm all in. I have no fear. I'm hot when it's hot. I'm cold when it's cold. I'm hot when it's cold. I turn on the heat. I turn off the heat. I'm that person. Nothing fears me. So I have full control of my area, my sphere, my world, my point of view. I have full control of it. I have no fear. Nothing you could do to scare me. I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where we come from, it's like it prepares you for that type
And that's the best. Yo, even when I was thinking about it, I was like, yo, you know what? I was like, how would I be if I had kids? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I know what things made me have this personality. I know what things happen. I know that when I do, eventually in life, when I decide to have kids, I'm like, all right, they're going to go to the best private school, best this and that. But I was like, is that going to make them prepared for the world? In a sense, I don't know. These are just ideas I'm throwing off my head.
No,
right?
that's a good question to yourself.
Right, that's a good question. So anyway,
because you don't want your kids to go through what you went through, but you want them to be as prepared as you are for
Right.
the world. And all you could do is kind of raise them right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if they're not in those type of situations that we went through, how do you prepare them for that? You know, besides just telling them.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you got to experience it.
Right.
At the same time. But then it goes back to this too. It's not for everybody.
Right.
You listen. It's nature versus nurture. The world pick and choose who they want to play that position.
Mm-hmm.
We're chosen because they want us to play that position.
Mm-hmm.
The world, the universe, wants
Right.
you to play this position.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing this position. There's a reason why I have no fear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I feel like I'm unstoppable. There's a reason why I wrote a book. There's a reason why I can fail 1,000,000 times and not jump off a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a million reasons why. It's way beyond you and I. You know what I'm saying? It's the scope. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, so going back to what we were saying, we have no control over that.
Mm-hmm.
Nature versus nurture.
Exactly.
That's all it is. So everybody's plays their position.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why I'm fearless, because that's the way it is.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. I feel like there's nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to lose, and it works for me.
Right.
It might not work for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That nothing to lose attitude might not work for somebody else.
Exactly.
Somebody might not be as charismatic or clever or witty enough to get out of certain situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could have that nothing to lose attitude and win because that's the way it's worked. That's the way it's been developed for me. That's the way it is for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, I agree, man. You definitely gotta control what you can control, man. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about anything and all the negative stuff that can happen in, like, Murphy's Law, you know, you gotta keep that out your mind. Yeah, be aware of it, but don't let it affect you, you know what I'm saying? Keeping that positive outlook at all times. So, tell me, how much is God in your life with all this?
That's a good question, man. You know what? I feel like God is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
God is everywhere. So God is all through my life.
Mm-hmm.
He's everywhere.
No, that's what's up, man. So you believe in, the higher power. You pray.
Definitely believe in the higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely believe in the higher power.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Is there anywhere people can follow you and, you know?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Nathan Pelle. It's NathanPelle. And, I'm always on there. So, yeah. What else I was going to say, too? And I was like, yo, I just want people to, like, understand, like, you know, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So, but if you do feel it in your stomach, please go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, go for it, because it's a gut feeling. It's really something that's embedded inside of you, that's already in your DNA, and just go for it. You know, I just realized I came from a family of entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like my grandma started this liquor store in the Caribbean islands where she grew up at.
Right.
So it's important. You know what I'm saying? Even when alcohol wasn't even legal. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope. So you see where certain things stem from. It's just like it's generations, and everything like that. So.
And it's in you.
Yeah, if it's in you, just go for it, man. With entrepreneurship, if it's in you, just go for it, man. It's something that you, because everybody's gonna tell you otherwise.
No, I like that, man. You know, I definitely think you should start doing some public speaking and, you know, motivational speaking to the youth, as well as, you know, any other entrepreneurs, you know, so they could kind of, because you have a story to tell and you have a testimonial as well, so it's like people gravitate more to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather listen to somebody who's done it rather than somebody who just knows how to get it done but hasn't done it, you know what I'm saying? So, and it sounds like you're doing it, so you should definitely try to do some motivational speaking or more motivational videos on your social media. I know you do some, but, you know, like, push it more, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all going to gravitate back to you and everything you're trying to do, especially with this book, you know what I'm saying? So, I definitely think you should practice some more of that also. But I just want to say it's been great having you on the show. You know what I'm saying? It took a while to get you here, but we made it happen. You know, and like I said, I'm proud of you, brother. Keep doing your thing. I wish you nothing but the best, much success. You know, love to go in business with you when that time comes. And you know, if you have anything you want the people to know, let them know now, or else, you know, we out of here.
Keep it positive, man.
There you go. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sleepers for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas, Nathan Pelle. Stay tuned for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel.